So today I want to provide some clarification on the new USPS Ground Advantage. There's still some confusion out there, and I think that our old bad habits are going to be a problem after the 30-day grace period that USPS has given us. And we got some sales issues, and I want to talk to you about that as well. So let's talk about that on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And yeah guys, USPS Ground Advantage is a new service that was implemented on the 9th of July, and eBay is giving us within their label system a 30-day grace period, and also USPS as well, where they will accept these first class packages, but they really need to be properly labeled. And I think there's a confusion in there where, first class is still showing on for packages that are more than a pound. So here's the confusion, guys. We have eBay labels, and you see I have this football here. It's a ball cube football display case. It's only 4 pounds, 15 by 11 by 11. Naturally, you guys know that 4 pounds is too heavy for first class. Okay, so we go down and we see that eBay gives us that option, okay? And that is because first class is part of Ground Advantage now, okay? USPS is giving eBay 30 days to get their stuff together, and that us sellers have to have our business policies switched over by I believe it's the 9th of August. Now, you guys are using first class package rates even if it's under a pound, and it's a good idea to stop doing that. Start using only the USPS Ground Advantage option only, whether it's under a pound or over a pound. Up to 70 pounds is the max weight. Now, as you can see here, someone got upset at me. You can't see that remark here, but someone did get upset at me, lashed out at me over the weekend. But here it is right here in writing. Listings with USPS services will need to be updated to reflect USPS Ground Advantage. So your first class package services need to be incorporated under one business policy for your shipping. So if you have a business policy just for first class, you need to change that so it reflects Ground Advantage. USPS Ground Advantage, I believe it says Parcel Select. You need to make sure that all your policies are updated, guys. And the question is, why can't eBay update my listings with first class to Ground Advantage? And the USPS has separated their first class service by moving first class packages to the Ground Advantage and maintaining first class mail for letters. So you could still, send a first class letter with the little, forever stamp. That's different. The first class quote unquote service will continue to be available on eBay for listings where sellers are shipping with these methods. For this reason, eBay is unable to update sellers' listings with first class to Ground Advantage. So eBay is going to keep that for the envelopes, the first class option. But if you're sending a parcel, a package, stop using the first class option. Start using the Ground Advantage option. Make sure you're only, from this point on, using USPS Ground Advantage when you're running your labels, okay? For me, I'm going to send it by FedEx. This buyer chose FedEx. It's only 50 cents more. It's going to arrive between the 14th and the 19th. It says 15th and 19th for Ground Advantage, but you don't also want to get into a situation either where you're promising one thing with the buyer and then you're choosing Ground Advantage now because it's the cheaper cost. This is another reason why you need to get your policies in order with each of your listings to reflect the exact policy or the exact shipping model that or the carrier you're offering. So for me, I've offered FedEx home delivery. This is what the buyer selected. It would do no service to the buyer if I ran the label under Ground Advantage, because it was 50 cents cheaper and it got there, differently. Expecting it to arrive by FedEx. And the last thing you want to do is to get a customer upset, maybe leave a negative feedback or whatever, because you wanted to save 50 cents or a buck or a couple bucks. You're going to find, though, that USPS Ground Advantage is going to start being competitive with the FedEx and UPS offerings, and it is going to be an alternative. I can tell you, if there is a UPS strike, it is going to be an alternative for you to use, rather than sending your items by FedEx. So that's something to consider. Up to 70 pounds. So bottom line on that, guys, is just use the USPS Ground Advantage for any product that is under a pound that you're shipping by US mail, and any product that you want to ship over a pound where you don't intend on using priority mail. Priority mail is still going to be your faster option of the two, but this is USPS's way of sort of competing with the likes of UPS Ground and FedEx Ground / home services. So guys, I gotta tell you, man, the sales are just someone flipped a switch again. And look, I'm doing everything I can, and that's all you can do. Certainly this is not a complaint, because I sort of expected this. This is a trend that's going to continue to happen, where just sales die for no reason. Well, you can just take the stance of giving up, which I never do. I allow it to give me more motivation. And it's sort of hard to get beyond the first few minutes of disappointment. Get up in the morning, sit in front of my computer desk, and look to send out offers. And I only had a couple offers to send this morning, so that's the first indication. No sales, which is definitely not usual. And really haven't been any sales in my account since yesterday afternoon. So here we go again with a large swath of time where there's just no activity on my account. So it seems as if I've hit a snag. As you can see here, my sales are just pretty straight up, like they took a dive yesterday afternoon on Tuesday. $147 day. You see, I've had $639 days. Pretty good. So it's been very steady. I've had days like back on the 30th of June where they were very much like what happened yesterday, but today no bounce back, and I am. It's discouraging when you see that happen, but you just got to keep working. You just got to keep grinding away. Does this have anything to do with the summer slowdown? I don't know, because so far this month it's been pretty good. You see my numbers, last 7 days, last 31 days, I'm up 11.9% as compared to the previous 30 days. So, guys, you just got to keep plugging away. My my listing impressions, 2.4% up. My click-through rate is about on par with last month. My listing page views, so I have 12.5% more clicks on my items after the the listing is displayed to the buyer. And then my sales conversion rate just keeps going up. I was under 2% a couple months ago. So that number is 2.4%, and it's moving up. So that is a snapshot of my account, and it could be a cause for worry because of what happened yesterday and what's not happening today. But, I can't control that. So, I'm just going to keep plugging forward and keep pushing, keep churning, and keep trying to make these sales. So, look, guys, slow days are going to happen to all of us. And for me, it just happens to be the second day in the last, say, week where I haven't had a sale in like a 24-hour period. But I'm going to keep plugging away. Once the switch gets flipped, those sales are going to come back. And if it's anything like it was over the weekend on Saturday, it's going to be a lot of nothing. And then all of a sudden the switch flips, and it's going to be cha-ching after cha-ching after cha-ching. And you know what? I have to look at it like that. I have to look at it with the silver lining, because if I allow it to bring me down, it's going to hurt my motivation, and it's going to basically cause me just to not want to list. And we all have those days where we just don't feel like listing, and I don't want the slow sales to be the cause of my lack of motivation. In fact, like I've told you before, it causes me to be motivated, And the bottom line is, guys, you got to find your motivation from within yourself. When you have slow days like this, you have to just be more determined. Because I'm not going to allow something going on outside of my control to affect the progress that I've made, and neither should you, okay? And maybe you haven't quite made the progress you've been wanting to make, but you can't allow eBay to be the reason or excuse that you make as for the reason why you're not where you want to be. So find a way to overcome it. For me, I'm going to throw some music on. I'm going to go out in the garage, throw the AC on and cool it down the best that I can. And guess what? This is what I'm going to do today. And maybe even go at it a little harder. But that's just me. Hopefully, and I want to know, how do you get motivated? How do you stay motivated when you are expecting a decent sales day and you just see nothing? And that is the challenge that I have, and that is the challenge I think all of us have from time to time. And I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm not going to call eBay. Yeah, I'm making a video because this channel, we share what we do, both good and bad. And right now it's not so hot. But does that mean tomorrow is going to be that way? Does that mean that the switch isn't going to get flipped later on today? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that I can't control what I can't control. And I can only control the things that I can. And neither can you. So, want to know your thoughts down below. And guys, these are the things that I'm talking about. The things that are out of our control. Of course, when we came on, stop using first class. Just keep using USPS Ground Advantage from here on out. Don't even use the first class as an option unless you're sending like an envelope or, that's a little different story. But, that is something that I think all of us need to get out of the habit of. And I think all of us need to get into the habit of just being more motivated when things aren't going our way, just like it isn't for me. And things will turn around, I'm confident, but it ain't going to turn around if I sulk about it. Look, guys, slow sales are going to happen. It's going to be a part of everyone's success story. You're still going to have slow sales days, just like me. And it's yet just another example of how flipping ain't easy.